Hey everybody, it's good to be back. It's a great day for the Big Green Egg. Today we are going to do competition chicken thighs. Kind of got interested in these at a couple of restaurants that I went to where I really liked what I was eating. Here we are, we're all prepped, we're all ready to go, we're ready to get on the Big Green Egg. So we're going to hit rewind, we're going to show you how we got here, and then we're going to go out there. Stick around. Okay, so here's our starting point, your basic bone-in chicken thigh. Let's start by prepping. So we're going to start by deboning it. Simple process. You're going to flip the chicken over, and you're going to take a sharp knife, and you're going to very carefully cut along the bone and free the meat up from the bone. You want to be careful because you want to keep as much meat as possible, and you don't want to leave any yucky bits in there. Okay, so we just keep cutting around, and we get to the point where the bone releases, and you want to make sure you take off any cartilage or things like that with you. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is you want to trim and clean the thigh up so that it's all set to use. There's a bit there that we want to cut out, as you can see. Make sure that's not in there because that's not going to be any fun. And you want to cut off any excess fat. This triangular piece here, you want to get under there and take that off, and we're going to take the skin off and clean the fat off after. Now we're going to take the skin off because we're going to get that off and we're going to use it after we prep the rest of the chicken. So basically you just go under there with your knife and you want to get under there and take the skin off. Okay, now that we've got the skin off, you just want to go around and trim any excess fat from the chicken. It pretty much scrapes right off because you want to have a nice clean surface to wrap the skin back around when you're done. So you just sort of trim it out and you flip it over, and you make sure that when you debone that there was a vein that runs up and down the center of the meat, which you wouldn't want to. Most times when you just bake a piece of chicken, you just leave it, but in this particular case, you want to take it out because it's just not all that nice. Now we're going to work on the skin. You want to make sure you take any excess fat off the skin. So I'm just taking my knife and I'm dragging it across and taking the excess fat off. I tore that one a little bit, but we'll be all right. We're not in a competition today. We're just cooking for home, so it'll be okay. So once you've got the excess fat off the inside of the skin, it's all nice and thin, we're ready to go. Okay, so now we've got our cleaned up boned chicken thigh, we've got our skin all ready to go, and we're going to now prep it. So what you do is you tuck it into a nice little form like this, and then typically you just put the skin right back over it and tuck it all under. And again, this isn't quite as pretty as you might make it, but you get the idea, and you're creating a shape like that. So there we go, deboned. As you can see, I'm down to my last one, and I've made a little executive decision. I'm going to try putting a little lemon juice and a little bit of rub on the inside before I put the skin on. So I'm going to go back and do that with all of them, see what that does for the flavor. Okay, so that's what a finished thigh should look like. I've deboned it, I've taken the skin off and scraped the fat off. I actually went back and re-scraped them again. I've seasoned the bottom of them. I've wrapped the skin back around, and now I'm just going to put some seasoning on the top. And we're ready for our next step. So we've seasoned the top. That left us with one last step, which is to put them in the pan and put a nice pat of butter on top of each one. We're going to get ready and get these onto the Big Green Egg. Okay, so we hit the thighs with some applewood smoke, and they've been on the Big Green Egg for about 45 minutes. Let's have a peek. Well, that's looking pretty good. We're going to cover them up with aluminum foil now and continue to cook them slow at about 250, 275 for about another hour. I guess it's time to make some barbecue sauce for the glaze. You've all seen me make this before, so I'm not going to go through it, but here's a pretty shot of some frying onions. Ta-da! Okay, so the big green egg's been doing its thing. I think it's time we came over and opened the lid, had a look. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, that looks nice. Let's bring them inside and get them ready to glaze. Okay, so there's one step left now that we've taken them off. I've glazed them with glazed the thighs with some barbecue sauce, and we're going to throw them back on the big green egg for a minute just for the sauce to set, and then we are ready to go. So here they are off the grill, applewood smoked, slow cooked in butter, and then covered in some nice barbecue sauce, and finished off on the big green egg. Looks pretty good. The skin's paper thin and it cut right away. Meat looks beautiful. It's got a nice smoky look about it. Yep, think it's going to be good. I think we've got some wonderful eating ahead of us. Hope you give it a try. Thanks for sticking around. See you next time.